Bangladesh and France to work to ensure stability in Asia-Pacific region. Countrymen fed up with the ruling party people, says Fakhrul. ADC Harun suspended over torture on Chhatra League leaders. Those were the headlines. This is ATN News. Good evening, viewers. This is Salin Kadir with English Bulletin. French President Emmanuel Macron has left Dhaka in the afternoon, wrapping up his two-day Dhaka visit. Earlier, he held a bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at latter's office. Two instruments have been signed during his tour. In the joint statement, Sheikh Hasina and Emmanuel Macron said the relations between the two countries is at a new dimension. Sheikh Abdul Salam has more.
A French president is in Dhaka after 3 decades. A red carpet was rolled out in Emmanuel Macron's honor. During his 2-day visit, he held a bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Trade and business, as well as various aspects of economic development of the two countries, got priority during the bilateral meeting at the Prime Minister's office. After the meeting, the two leaders attended the instrument signing ceremony. Dhaka and Paris signed 2 instruments regarding Bangabandhu 2 satellite and improvement of urban infrastructure in Bangladesh. Later in the joint statement, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina mentioned Emmanuel Macron's tour as a historic day of Bangladesh-France relationship. She hopes strategic progress of the two countries will play an important role to establish regional stability and global peace.
The government of France has expressed its satisfaction with the responsible and committed activities of the government of Bangladesh to protect fundamental and human rights of its people. French government has assured us to continue assistance for our infrastructural development.
Through the tour of French President, the relations of the two countries will reach a new height.
Bangladesh and France will play leadership and responsible role to establish geopolitical stability in the Asia-Pacific region.
In the joint statement, Macron said his government will extend all-out support to Bangladesh. Eyeing that target, his government has signed the 2 instruments.
De l'espace, la France ayant déjà été à l'origine du premier satellite Bangladesh.
Before arriving Prime Minister's office, the visiting French President went to Dhanmondi 32 on Monday morning. There, he paid tribute to Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and visited Bangabandhu Memorial Museum. Emmanuel Macron left Hazrat Shahjalal International Airport on a special flight in the afternoon. Sheikh Salam, desk report, ATN News.
Bangladesh has passed a busiest 3 weeks in international diplomacy. First Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina attended the BRICS summit. Few days later, she attended the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov at home. Then she flew to New Delhi of India to attend G20 summit. On the sidelines of the summit, the Prime Minister had the chance to exchange greetings with US President Joe Biden. US President was even seen taking a selfie with the Prime Minister in a rare gesture. The diplomatic analysts of the country think one selfie has given answer to many questions. It was thought that the government might face pressure from US, European Union and many other countries prior to 12th parliamentary polls. However, that might not happen anymore as the Prime Minister has overcome all hurdles through digital diplomacy. People of the country have become fed up with the ruling party people. BNP's Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir made the remark while addressing a memorial discussion on Dr. Zafrullah at the National Press Club on Monday. The discussion was organized by a platform of Bhashani followers, saying that the time is very short to oust the government The BNP leader said young people will have to be involved to strengthen the unified movement, mentioning common people are now at the extreme point of struggle due to commodity price hike and irregularities in all sectors. Mirza Fakhrul claimed BNP's victory in the movement is obvious. The BNP's Secretary General said they will bring change in the country through proposed reforms if they go to power. Additional Deputy Commissioner Harun Rashid has been suspended over the torture of two leaders of the ruling party student wing at Shahbag Police Station in Dhaka. A notification was issued in this regard on Monday afternoon. The notification, signed by Senior Secretary Muhammad Mustafizur Rahman, BPM, read that ADC Harun has been suspended. Earlier, a three-member committee was formed on Monday afternoon to look into the allegation of torture. The committee was also asked to submit its report within 2 working days. Earlier in the day, the Central Chhatra League leaders held a meeting with Dhaka Metropolitan Police Commissioner Khandakar Ghulam Farooq. A 6-member Chhatra League delegation comprising its president Saddam Hussain and General Secretary Sheikh Wali Asif Inan attended the meeting on Monday afternoon. Saddam Hussain demanded highest punishment of those involved on torture on 2 of their leaders. DMP Joint Commissioner Biplab Kumar Sarkar said the DMP Commissioner has assured of highest punishment following a neutral investigation. Bangladesh police will not be held responsibility of any individual. They will be brought to justice irrespective of their position in the police department. Finally, banks in the country have now agreed to sell dollar at a fixed rate. The measure has been taken to control dollar market and to fulfill the demand of International Monetary Fund (IMF). The banks of the country will buy the dollar at a price of 109 taka 50 paisa and sell it at taka 110. The central bank will sell the dollar from its reserves at same rate. Importers are of the opinion the measure will bring down hassles. Leaders of FBCCI, the apex body of the business community, think one rate system is a positive action to control price of dollar. They, however, think that the government will have to take initiative to increase the flow of dollar. Leaders and activists of Awami League have paid tribute to Sajida Chaudhary, the former Presidium member of Awami League, on her first death anniversary on Monday. The central leaders and activists of Awami League, including Presidium member Qazi Zafrullah and Abdur Rahman, paid tribute to Sajida Chaudhary by placing wreath at her grave in capital's Banani graveyard. Son of Saida Sajida Chaudhary, Shadab Akbar Chaudhary Labu, who is also a lawmaker from Faridpur 2 constituency, was also present at the time. Recalling the contribution of Sajida Chaudhary in the politics of Awami League, leaders of the party said she had been vocal to get justice after the assassination of Bangabandhu. She also played a strong role during bad time of the party, they added. We will be back with a short break. Until then, Morocco earthquake, rescuers race to find survivors. Djokovic wins career's 24th Grand Slam. Welcome back. You're watching ATN News. This is Salim Kadir with English Bulletin. FBCCI will not be with unscrupulous traders. President of FBCCI, Mahbubul Alam, made the remark in his address at a debate on consumers' rights protection in the capital on Monday. The debate was organized by Debate for Democracy. He said action will be taken if commodity price gets increased by creating artificial crisis. In his address, Chairman of Debate for Democracy Hassan Ahmed Chaudhry Kiran said the commodity price is now out of control due to syndicate of the traders. He said the main hurdle to control market is failure to check irregularities and corruption. Two people, including a motorbiker, were killed in Magura as bus rammed them. Eyewitnesses said a Janida-bound bus of Golden Paribahan from Dhaka first hit a motorcycle in front of Magura General Hospital on Monday afternoon. Later, the bus rammed an old woman, Rokia, and hit 4 stationed ambulances. Motorbiker Anwar Hussain and the Rokia died on the spot. Police have seized the bus. However, the driver fled the scene. We now begin with news from around the world. The death toll from Morocco's devastating 6.8 magnitude earthquake has risen to 2,497. Another 2,476 people were injured, the Interior Ministry of the country said, updating a previous toll of 2,122 dead and 2,400 wounded. Morocco's Interior Ministry on Monday said search and rescue efforts are continuing. The Moroccan government has accepted aid from 4 countries so far: Britain, Spain, Qatar and the UAE. A desperate search for survivors continues as armed forces and international aid teams fight through rubble and devastation to reach remote mountain areas. Rescuers have been using the bare hands to dig for survivors. The United Nations estimates 3 lakh people across the region have been affected. Many slept outside for a 3rd consecutive night.
He tells us he's lost his wife and his 3 boys.
US President Joe Biden has denied Cold War with China on his historic Vietnam trip. Joe Biden denied that his country is attempting to stem China's international influence after signing a new historic deal with Vietnam. More than 50 years since the last American soldier left Vietnam, Biden traveled to Hanoi to sign the agreement that will bring the former foes closer than ever before. The comprehensive strategic partnership with Vietnam is a major relationship upgrade for the US. It is the culmination of a relentless push by Washington over the last 2 years to strengthen ties with Vietnam, which it sees as key to counter China's influence in Asia.
Phát triển bền vững.
The United States on Monday marks the 22nd anniversary of the September 11 terror attacks that killed nearly 3,000 people. The attacks, commonly known as 9/11, were 4 coordinated Islamist suicide terrorist attacks carried out by Al-Qaeda against the United States. That morning, 19 terrorists hijacked 4 commercial airliners scheduled to travel from the New England and Mid-Atlantic regions of the East Coast to California. The hijackers crashed the first 2 planes into the twin towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, 2 of the world's 5 tallest buildings at the time, and aimed the next 2 flights towards targets in or near Washington, D.C. in an attack on the nation's capital. The 3rd team succeeded in crashing into the Pentagon, while the 4th plane crashed in rural Pennsylvania following a passenger revolt. North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un appears to have started his journey to Vladivostov for a summit with Russia's President Vladimir Putin. The armored train that Kim uses for foreign visits appears to have departed, South Korean media reported, citing a government official. The meeting is expected to take place as early as Tuesday local time. Russian news agency Interfax has reported earlier that Kim is expected to visit in the coming days. If the summit with Putin pushes through, it will be the North Korean leader's first international trip in more than 4 years and the first since the pandemic. At least 43 civilians were killed in airstrikes in Sudan's Khartoum's May neighborhood on Sunday. More than 55 others were wounded in the attack, where paramilitary forces battling the military were heavily deployed, the Sudan Doctors Union said in a statement. The Resistant Committees, an activist group that helps organize humanitarian assistance, posted footage on social media showing bodies wrapped in white sheets in an open yard at the hospital. Sudan has been rocked by violence since mid-April, when tensions between the country's military, led by General Abdel Fattah Burhan, and the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, commanded by General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, burst into the open fighting.
And now 30 civilians or 30 people have been killed, including civilians, and many others injured.
Before ending that bulletin, the top stories once again. Bangladesh and France to work to ensure stability in the Asia-Pacific region. Countrymen fed up with the ruling party people, says Fakhrul. ADC Harun suspended over torture on Chhatra League leaders. Morocco earthquake, rescuers race to find survivors. Djokovic wins career's 24th Grand Slam. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us. Until then, see you soon.